And maybe you're building out a website, maybe you're purchasing software, okay, or funnel stuff, and you're not at that season of business. So it is costing you time, it's prolonging your launch, it's prolonging your results, all of those things. So even if it is the right tool, it may not be the right season for it. Hey guys, it's Dr. Sonia here with Jump First. Say it with me. Done is better than perfect. Master one thing at a time. Practice makes better. And this has to work. Let's get it. It's Dr. Sonia here with Jump First. Today we're talking, it really shouldn't be that hard. Okay, I don't want it to be that hard for you. We talk all things premium courses, whether they are online or face-to-face, how to package your knowledge, your wisdom, your lived experiences so that you can put it into the format of a course, again, online or face-to-face, as well as start to build out a luxury mentorship and coaching brand. If that's something that interests you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like button, bell notification so you know when new episodes like this drop and we can hang out live. Now let's get into it because I want to talk about this in regards to or pertaining to your online courses. Okay, it really shouldn't be that hard. There are 3 things that are making it hard, and we're going to cover all of them, and as well as the symptoms, okay, and the byproducts of why those things are making it hard and how you can navigate around that and just simply get straight to the results that you're looking for. Okay, so let's talk about the first thing. First of all, let me tell you how I figured this out all along this journey. Every single step of this journey has been a figuring out of these particular points for me. When I first started, anything new that you start, and you know this as a high performer, high achiever, it's going to cost you time, money, and energy. Okay, time, money, or energy, a lot of people say, but to be honest with you, it's going to cost you sometimes all 3, especially as you start to ramp up and become acclimated or get acclimated to like this new thing that you're doing and trying to figure out. But there are ways that you can start to save yourself time, money, and energy. Okay, and of course, like one of the main ones, I always talk about this, is mentorship. And grabbing a coach, grabbing somebody who knows what it is that they're talking about and has the results that you want. I was actually talking about this with someone today on the Stairmaster, and we were talking about how demotivating it is when someone is doing the thing that you want to do, but you can't see the results in that person that you are looking to achieve. Okay, so there's that part too. So it's both. It's like you have to have a combination, is somebody who is doing the thing that you want to do, but is doing it successfully, somebody who has those results. Good morning, Maurice. What's going on? It's good to see you on this morning. Let me know if you're watching this, by the way, where you are currently watching from or what time it is where you're watching from. I always like to see the global reach of these episodes. So let's get into it today, like why it really shouldn't be that hard, why it may be feeling that hard, or let's be honest, why you're making it much harder than it has to be. I'm a mentor who I can sympathize a lot of times with where people are along this journey, but also it is my job and my responsibility as a coach and mentor, someone who has successfully figured out courses and how to create them, market them, and scale them, to hold your vision for you. And so there's a difference between sympathy and empathy before you get into this place of compassion. And compassion, a lot of times, it kind of leads people to this space of enabling, right? And I refuse to do that. And so I say I sympathize with where folks are because I have definitely been there. I can even teeter on empathy because I can feel, how people may be feeling because of my experiences. And this would be true for you too when you teach your courses as well. But I want you to remember, as a coach and a mentor, it is your responsibility to hold space for your students' vision, okay, for where it is that they want to grow to. And so empathy sometimes it takes away from that, because when you find yourself feeling the same way that that student is feeling or that client is feeling, like y'all both can't be there, okay? Somebody has to hold space, and it's your responsibility as a coach and mentor to do that. What's going on? Connecticut, okay, in the building. Okay, Maurice, I love it. Have I ever been to Connecticut? I don't think so, but I've talked to a lot of people from Connecticut, especially during the time I was doing like staffing and recruiting. You guys got a lot of healthcare stuff going on there, if I'm not mistaken. At least that was my experience with staffing and recruiting side. Frenchie, what's going on? I appreciate the compliment. Good morning. Great morning to you. Let me know again if you're watching this where you are currently tuning in from or what time it is where you are. I'm always interested in the global reach. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, okay, like button, and bell notification so you know when more episodes like this drop. I love interacting with you all, answering questions, all that good stuff. All right, so let's get into it today. Why it's likely hard right now anything new that you start, this can apply to anything. I want to bring it specifically for premium courses, luxury coaching and mentorship brands, and scaling those out, because I've seen this firsthand. So the first things first, you may have the wrong tools. Okay, you may be using the wrong tools. The wrong tools, as with anything, are never going to work for a specific thing. And so I think about my dad. He taught me this, right? Growing up, I was very hands-on. I wanted to learn stuff. He is the one that taught me how to change a tire. He always fixed everything. And so I was one of those curious kids that liked taking things apart, or when things broke down, maybe some stuff I broke on purpose, I'm gonna be honest with you, because I wanted to see how they worked, okay, inside. And so I wanted to have my dad fix these things, but a lot of times he fixed everything. It didn't matter if it was a Barbie doll, okay, a watch, battery, it didn't matter. My cars, my dad would work on growing up. And so I remember him, as we are multiple times teaching these lessons. What's going on, Gojo? It's good to see you. He would say, you can't use a screwdriver to hammer a nail. Right. So that's kind of in essence what I mean by this. If you have the wrong tools and you're trying to accomplish something, you are making it much harder on yourself than if you just grab the right tool, the right thing that you need for the job. And that's just it. All right. And I'll relate this in a second to how time, money, and energy come into play as well, and how you can save yourself time, money, and energy, all right, and do the right thing in the first place. So number one, you're using the wrong tools if it feels harder than it should be, or harder than necessary. Number two, you don't have a strategy, or you're using the wrong strategy, okay? A lot of times what I find with clients and mentees that come into my programs is they just don't have a strategy for launching the course, for creating the course, for scaling the course, or they're trying to skip 8 steps ahead of where they currently are, right? Like they're trying to scale it before they even have it created, or before they even sell it. And so I appreciate that. Thank you, Movie Short Society. I appreciate that compliment. Thank you. So they are trying to scale 8 steps ahead, right? Or they just don't have a strategy. So they're throwing things against the wall and trying to make it stick. That is not a strategy. Throwing content online in order to market your courses, also not a strategy, okay? You need a very specific strategy to create your course, to teach your course, to launch the course, to scale the course. All of those steps are different moments in time, if you will, along the journey. And so the same strategy that you're using to create this course is not going to be the one that you're using to scale the course, all right, or to teach the course. You need a strategy that is complementary to the stage that you're in regarding your course launch, all right? So need a strategy, number one. And if it feels harder, then again, you probably don't have a strategy. You may be copying other strategies without understanding the reason that someone is using that strategy. And I always say this, you got to know what season of business you're in before you go to try to mimic a strategy, okay? You also need to understand why somebody is using a specific strategy, because the strategy that they are using in their business may not work for your business or your personality or the clients that you want to serve. And I've said this, like, even I had a client, I'll tell you a quick story. I had a client one time tell me literally, oh, I've been trying to copy the strategy. I've been trying to mimic your strategy. And I'm like, what about the one that we put together, right? The one that's actually for your business. And she had to like literally be honest and transparent. She's like, I mean, just honestly, I was ready to get where it is that you currently are. And I had to kind of go through this lesson, which was applicable to many of the clients in that session. My clients aren't your clients, right? My audience isn't your audience. And so sometimes the strategies that I'm using are for a very specific audience and a very specific season of business. And so again, not understanding the why someone is doing what they're doing is also making it feel harder than it has to be, than is necessary for you to create and launch and scale these courses, okay? So you need a strategy, but you also need the right strategy. The third thing that's making it feel harder, like so much resistance, like you're climbing up a hill, it doesn't have to be that hard, okay? I promise y'all it can be easy. The third reason that it feels so hard is because you're not doing what you know you're supposed to be doing. I just gotta be for real. Remember earlier in this episode, I talked about sympathy, empathy, and compassion. Okay, as a coach and mentor, I can sympathize with where it is that you are, but I also need to hold your vision for you and hold you accountable for doing the thing, the hard stuff. Okay, it's not supposed to be hard, but it feels hard because you're not doing it at all. Okay, it's like you know what to do, but you're not doing the thing. And so I got to hold that space for you and really be honest with you that it's time for you to take accountability for not doing the things that you know you're supposed to be doing. So that's why it also can feel harder, is because you feel stuck in start. You feel like, oh my God, like I can't move all this other stuff out of the way to get to this thing that I know I'm supposed to be doing. All right, that's a problem. And so it's just you not doing the thing. So let's talk about how these relate to time, money, energy, because while all of them, I feel like initially, especially when you start your online course business, it's going to require time, it's going to require money, and it's going to require energy, especially if you want to do it the right way. You need a sustainable foundation for your course business. Don't just launch it, okay, into wherever. It's going to feel harder, and it's also going to take longer for you to get the results that you're looking for. Okay, you need this sustainable foundation. So in the beginning, it may cost all of these things, but some of these things it costs more of if you're not doing it the right way. Okay, so let me break it down and make it make sense for a second. So the right tools, not having the right tools, okay, is costing you time, money, and energy, but it's costing you mostly your time. Even when you get the right tool, right, and you don't have the other two things, the strategy and actually knowing what it is that you're doing, the things that you know you're supposed to be doing, it's costing you more time. You're just wasting time. You're letting time go on before you actually jump into having the right tool. Even having the right tool, it takes time to learn, okay, these tools. Like for instance, I purchased ClickFunnels at the very start of my journey. This was like, I was maybe 6 months in, and I was like, I'm going to get ClickFunnels and I'm going to learn ClickFunnels because that's what I saw everybody doing. Remember I said earlier, I'm talking about things that I know, okay, about high performers, high achievers, because I am one, and I'm also a recovering perfectionist and recovering procrastinator, okay? All of these things I talk so much about because I know them. So I bought ClickFunnels very early on, too early in my business, 6 months in. And yeah, I saw other entrepreneurs who were doing 7 figures, 8 figures in their businesses. And I was like, that's where I'm trying to be. Like, let me go ahead and do the things that they're doing. Let me get the tools that they have. And this is what I'm talking about. I wasn't ready. That wasn't my season of business. And so it felt so difficult for me to learn ClickFunnels. I love it to this day. It's an amazing tool. Like I will forever, be grateful for ClickFunnels. However, at that time in my business, it wasn't the right tool. That wasn't where I was supposed to be. So it took me over a year to learn how to really start building out funnels and how to like get it right. Right. And also at this time, I didn't have Russell as a mentor. So I'm like, later on in business, number one, I wasn't in the season of business where I felt like I could afford to pay Russell to be a mentor. Now, later on, right, just maybe a year and a half after that, I was like, okay, I'm ready, right? And I hired Russell to be my mentor. But like that changed the game for me, okay, definitely, and helped me narrow down, okay, here's exactly how I need to be using funnels in order to grow my business. But initially it wasn't the season of business for me. So the right tools, okay, even having the right tools is going to cost you time to learn those things. And again, it took me over a year and a half. So that's just one example. And maybe you're building out a website, maybe you're purchasing software, okay, or funnel stuff, and you're not at that season of business. So it is costing you time, is prolonging your launch, is prolonging your results, all of those things. So even if it is the right tool, it may not be the right season for it. So keep that in mind. Also, the money that you spend on these tools, okay, because also you spend a lot of money like trying to figure out, is it the right one? And again, if it's not the right season of business, then we're prolonging the time, then we're just paying for subscriptions that we don't even necessarily use, okay? Let me know if that is you right now, because that is a thing. I've been there. My clients have been there as well. She talks, what's going on? Oh, my ring just flew off my finger, y'all. What's going on? I teach courses. So premium courses, luxury mentorship, and coaching programs as well. So how to package those up. I appreciate that question, by the way. So tools are costing you mostly time. They're also costing you the money, and they're costing you energy to learn how to spend those things. How to use those things. The next thing is the strategy. Okay, so I told you I was going to relate this to time, money, energy. When you do not have a strategy, it is costing you money like all day long. All right. It's yes, you're taking the time to try to figure it out. You are using the energy to try to figure it out, but you're also not making the money that you want to be making in the meantime, in between time. So it's costing you money. Now, the other thing on the flip side of this, that's the negative drawback, right, of not having a strategy. But the other thing is, having a strategy is going to cost you money up front. So to have the right strategy, remember I said earlier, you need the right mentor, the right coach. Just hire somebody, okay? Just invest the money, because I'm not wasting time or energy trying to figure this out. Like, that's how I feel at this stage in my business. I'm not trying to figure this out on my own. I'm not trying to waste the time. I'm not trying to waste the energy. I'm trying to go fast. And so up front, there is going to be a monetary investment. And all you have to do is pay. You're paying the money either way. Okay. You're either not making the money, okay, or wasting money on outdated strategies or trying to piece things together. Like, think about how many courses and programs you have purchased to this point. Like, add up the total, and then think about who you could have invested in, right? What mentor or coach you could have used that money to invest in the first place. Okay, so it's going to cost you money, the investment up front, and that's cool. But after that, you make the money back. Okay, return on investment. And I always say this too: money returns. The time and energy, it just doesn't. Like, you can't get the time back, but the money always comes back. The last thing, not doing what it is that you know to be doing, okay, is costing you so much energy. You're expending this energy on other things in other areas, other places, when if you just do the thing that you know you're supposed to be doing and put the energy into that, some of that other stuff will work itself out. And it always happens like that. It always happens like that. We stress out, we worry about this thing and that thing, and how's this thing going to happen? But there's not doing what you know you're supposed to be doing is costing you more than you know. And it's costing you the energy that you need to actually do the thing that you know you should be doing. Life's going to continue regardless, right? Those things are going to be there regardless. In addition, it's also costing you time. You're just prolonging your inevitable success. You know it's going to be successful, but you're not doing the thing that you know you should be doing is costing you time, money, and energy. Like, that's the biggest one of all. Is just do the thing, right? Because a lot, like I said, when you do that thing, everything else falls into place. So for instance, launching the course, everything else falls into place. Like, actually moving that thing forward. If you've been putting the course launch off because, oh, I got this to do in my business or this to do in my personal life, think about, again, the loss of time, the loss of money, the loss of energy. Because by the time you get done doing everything else, you don't have the energy to want to put into actually launching the course. Whereas if you launch the course, you buy back your time, okay? You have the money coming in from your student enrollments, and you have more energy because now you are rested, rich and rested, okay? Like, that's the name of the game. And so put the energy into the spaces that it needs to go for everything else to fall into place. Stop trying to manage all the worries and all the anxiety. You're just giving yourself more of that when you keep putting off your inevitable success, the thing that you know you're supposed to be doing. Just do that. All right. And the rest of it falls into place. So hopefully this is super helpful. I don't know where my other ring went. It flew across the room somewhere, because clearly we do this. Okay. I remember, by the way, like, maybe off topic, but maybe on topic, maybe this is for somebody. I remember when I first got started, like, doing YouTube videos and putting out content, like, I would get feedback from people like, oh my God, you talk with your hands, you do this, like, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't say you shouldn't. And it's just like, just be you, okay? Just be yourself. Your people will find you, and that is literally it. All right. I appreciate all of y'all. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and do that. Hit the subscribe button, like button, bell notification, so you know when new episodes like this drop. Also, if you're interested in learning more about courses and packaging those up, your wisdom, your knowledge, your lived experiences into the format of courses, luxury coaching, and mentorship brands, then you can go get started at jumpfirstacademy.org. I linked it in the description below. There's a free training over there. It takes less than 30 minutes to go through. It's no fluff. It lays out my entire teach it method, the method that I use to create and package courses, so that you have the right tools, okay, the right strategy, and you know exactly what to do and how to do it. There are testimonials and case studies over there to show you how to apply what it is that you are learning, as well as free resources to help you implement on the spot as you're going through the training. There are also paid resources over there to help you implement. It's totally up to you which pathway you choose. I always say paid helps you go faster, but you get to choose your resource, okay? Free and paid. Either way, I want to help you implement what it is that you're learning, so that you're not just consuming or continuing to consume information, okay? The training is at jumpfirstacademy.org. That's all I have for today, okay? Take the action, get the right tools and the right strategy, And you figure out where your investment needs to go. Is it time? Is it money? Is it energy? Or is it all three initially, so you can make sure you have the solid foundation for your courses, and then you start to scale and buy back your time, okay? Buy back your energy, all right? And start making more money. Like, you deserve that. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, and I'll catch y'all back here tomorrow. Have an amazing, amazing day. Bye, y'all.